All right.
All right.
So, thanks for doing this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I guess because we've only got limited time,
True that.
should we just dive right into it?
Yes.
Cool. Well, the first question that I really wanted to ask
Okay.
was, obviously growing up in the village has kind of like shaped your outlook, your life outlook, and I was wondering, in reflection, how has it shaped your worldview, just like growing up in a little village and coming back to it?
Well, I grew up poor, I would say. This is, I think, the crucial, because sometimes when you're poor, you don't have option for entertainment. You don't have option to be like what other people may afford to do. It's all about to be able to, even when my parent was still exist, uh, my family was so poor back then. We just ate like once a day at 4 p.m. So whatever we can scrape out from the morning, it is what it is. And back then, this is 3 individual pond. One of them belongs to my late father. So the morning glory or water spinach was like abundant. So form of the things that we able to provide is something to eat, like maybe just enough. And to be honest, like one of the time that I told you that technically, physically I'm here, but since I grew up with TV programs from the US, from the UK, so maybe some of that mentality is there. So since that I've been exposed to to informations and the things that I think it's enough for me to grow, to find more informations that I needed. And that's why back then when I realized that I need to give a bit more attention to English, I think that's facilitate that's what make my journey so far was so blessed and easy, I would say. After I left school at 15, I guess, well, post 15, like after 15, I think since I start to work to help the family, things like change quite drastically because I earned some money. But before, or since I'm in the secondary school, high school, I would say everything is quite limited. Everything is quite hard, I would say, to the extent. But my childhood was very colorful as well. I didn't point fingers to families or to, because that time it is what it is. Not just my family in this village. Some of the family also face the same hardship that we. But fortunately for me, when I had to decide whether I should keep on excel on academics, I think maybe that kind of acknowledge is done, so that I can focus on to help the family with everyday life with the things. So I'm it's safe to say that my childhood is quite like colorful. And then after 15, since I start to work with my uncle, the one that we met earlier in the in construction, until in between, because that job is not like available every day or every week or every month. Every now and then I will commute to Langkawi back and forth to visit my brother, while also at the same time that I start to grind my English with the real interaction with English speaking people. So I think to be able to grow up in this kind of environment, and then to go out for a while and then come back and then continue doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I think no place like Lurabilut. Well, everybody going to say the same, like their hometown.
Yeah.
But after we got married, I told my wife that I think one of the reason why we chose to come back is that because of safety and security reason. Because elsewhere we could not just leave our stuff outside the house. So in overall, I would say my childhood in this village is accordingly, I would say, to shape me into what I am today. But of course, at the same time, filtering the goods and the bads, which kind of friends that I'm comfortable with. So that's how I would, I think, somehow answer. It's B.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you reckon it's changed over time, the village life, like your childhood versus like your daughter's?
Okay. I guess since that I am the second generation from this village, so the gaps between the first and the second, luckily in my family, since that I'm the second generation, it's still it's still like kind of slow compared to other family that already had, like, they are fifth generation now. The gaps between the first generation until the fifth is quite. And also nowadays, since that the first generation of settler, most of them, I think only one left actually, pass away. So what we regard as authentic, as a like settlement scheme, like this place, like Feldalura Bilot, and actually we are not traditional village. We are a settlement scheme, but it's also a part of the environment that as what they able to provide compared to traditional village. They probably have their own land that might be diverse based on acreage. Also, they have their own system. Like in this settlement scheme, the I would say culture that it developed, or it progressed from 50 years ago up until now. I would say kind of drastically at one point, because the first generation is considered as the one that built and shaped this area, but the second generation, like me, is just the caretaker. So it's kind of a bit easy and free, I would say. But some of the family with the later generations, I think the bond between their childhood compared to ours is slightly loose now, no longer that strong. Based on the celebration of or wedding reception back then, we had this like communal works. Compared to nowadays, most of the family, they hire caterers to facilitate, because no one want to have that hassle anymore. Need to figure what needs to do what. But if I'm able to travel back in time, I would say I would definitely enjoy the previous event, or previous condition or situation that happened back then. Because back then the bond between neighbors, between the agency or the manage, I would say the administration of this village, still quite strong. We can invite them to the house and everything. But now it's really, I'm not going to go to emotional part, because why should I, right? Because this is, as we move forward, this is a part of the process. But I think what makes me feel like still attached to this area, this place, because despite everything, there's this security and safety, that most important thing, I guess, anywhere that if I'm going to settle down. And luckily for me, at least with this kind of, well, I wouldn't say inheritance, something that we can live in. At least we don't have to rent. We don't have to. At least I still have something to work for within my small compound or in the farm. So
Okay, so would you say that people are like living better? They're more wealthy, but the kind of sense of community is
yes,
broken down a little bit.
definitely they live far way better compared to previous generations. But that's also what makes the barrier, the invisible barrier, because they no longer feel like it's a thing to help out, or it's a thing to just even have a simple chat. But this is might be my just my personal opinion. But as you notice, when we had roti canai in the banter or the laugh and the comic or the the interaction is still there, except that it's in just selected place. Back in my school, back in my younger years, the whole lane could be a gossip area, between this house to that house. It's like traveling reporter. That's the term that we use. So information travel through gossips. Compared to nowadays, it's quite selected. I would say it's quite. I guess that's also because of the generation gap. Because sometimes the youngster could not catch up with the oldest mentality or mindset, that these people quite a bit conservative sometimes. But luckily, I'm the one in between, that be the bridge between the old people and the young. Yeah. So I think that would be something that I am able to tell myself, oh, at least this is something that I'm able to do for my community here. Let alone with this kind of activity with you guys. I don't know how or why. There's always some respect when it comes about languages. In this case, English, because after I left, even back in my school years, I'm having difficulties to attend school, not to study, because I was a straight A student. I don't need a lot of time to study or to do my revision. Revision, yes. Just the hardship that hits me, that I think, okay, maybe I'm going to choose my own path in life that still going to allows me to use English like on regular basis. And this is what I'm able to come up with for so far.
Yeah. How do you reckon like using English more has impacted your life?
Oh, wow. Look, when you ask me this question, this is how I'm going to say it. Because my turning point was when I was 9. I felt so stupid when I don't know what the public phone or payphone in your country was. I was like, and that was the turning point. So between 9 and to 15, I think I turbocharged my effort in order to accumulate as many vocabularies, as many things that I can grab in by using English, get all of those information needed, and wow, English really to a degree where it makes my problem seems very tiny, and it's really broadened my perspective or horizon when it comes about life itself, or about this purpose or all of this thing. So to be able to converse, to be able to understand English, I think it's a blessing that I would say, if I will be left with nothing, like I don't have the money, I think my English definitely going to help me to navigate this, to be able to get my feedback on the ground. So
Is it like the access to information and also like the people that you've managed to like communicate with and meet that's really changed your outlook on life, or is it one or the other, or kind of like both?
I guess it's both, you know.
Yeah.
You because like if it's regarding English, only when I start to host people here, then I have that opportunity or exposure to use English like daily basis. But even back then, when I was a tour guide in Langkawi, I still choose when I want to communicate in English. Not because I had to. So that's why whenever I feel like maybe I don't want to go out today, so there's no there's no chance that I will stumble upon people that communicate in English. But ever since I host people, I think I had to use. So sometimes it's the push that that you not needed, the push that you had to do because since we need to communicate, so we have to use it. So yes, and when if people ask me what is the benefits of having these people come, I would say well, my children, I think, except for Ian, Sophia, I think it's enough for her childhood for now, within her growth. But I think for the local youngsters, actually, back then they don't have any reason to learn about English like seriously. But now, whenever my volunteers come back with stories that we met these girls, they say hi, or these people there, that's what make me feel this is why I do this. And you know, for them to spark or to instill the curiosity in them, you know, so that back then they don't have reasons to like to learn English, but now the possibility of encounter when my people went for walks or in the restaurant, in the supermarket, sometimes they, and you know, when even if they able to say hi, hello, it's already like it's magic, you know. It's yes, it's, and so that the later generations, someone within Sophia's age or younger or maybe slightly older, they know now, because after ever since I start to welcome people, uh, the chance to like cross path with this, it's like every day, you know. It's like, hey, so that's why I think by able to have this kind of activity, it's not just for my family. The benefits not just for my family, it's also for the nearby community that you know, without the realizing it, that they also be a part of this journey. Whenever they come back, my people come back with stories that they've been invited to a birthday party sometimes when they walk, and it's like, oh yes. And also I prefer something that organic, you know. I prefer when my people go for a walk or whatsoever, me not be in the picture, because I don't want them to think that I'm going to judge them how they English, or I don't want them to think that I will correct them or whatsoever, because it's, you know, the main goal is to instill the courage for them to use English. And the rest, whatever they can elaborate from that conversation, that activity, it's up to them. I don't want to tell my people, oh, you should ask this, you should ask that. No, it's organic with whatever they can start the conversation.
What was the reaction when you first started hosting and stuff? Was there, because you said, like, so obviously people in the community know when, like, kind of they're going to notice, aren't they, when outsiders turn up and stuff like that?
Major things, major events that happened, I think, was back then. One thing, whenever I told people that I used to work as tour guide in Langkawi, none of them like, well, maybe some one or two would definitely believe me because they know my English already enough for me back then. But for most of them, it's like, Are you sure? Are you? So they don't know that my English, even when I was in my school years, it's already like above average. So when I start to host people, let's say when we go into that store like one earlier, and there's no such thing as our own table. Sometimes we have to share it, whether it's a long one, whether it's like just 4 corners of table like we had earlier. They would either quickly finish their meal, or they would try to find somewhere else, and then they will enjoy their meal. But now it's no longer. They would at least try to banter, try to say hi, try to. Actually, very huge progress compared to that one to this one, because, well, you are the 749th person soul that's taught by my place, so they know now that the chances to, at least they need to be able, well, they just want to at least say hi or hello, ask where you come from and how long you're going to stay here. So something basic that, once, twice or 3 times, over the time, that will be something that, okay, we already passed that what do you call, like, what
milestone
milestone? Yes, they already passed that, where they quite
overcome the shock of it.
yes, yeah, I think the first 10 my people here, they already start to embrace that. Okay, looks like this guy going to have this like a regular stuff.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see, because obviously, like, we've been walking in the morning the past couple of days, and people usually smile at us first, or will engage in conversation with us first, ask where we're from. Like, it's such a regular occurrence that just waving to say hi is no big issue. Like, you don't expect people to come and say hi, which is really cool. And I was wondering, like, because you've welcomed so many people from the West with a completely different culture to the one that you grew up in, how has that kind of changed the way that you view life? Has it, or like, has the observations that you've made about people from the West changed how you view life?
we talk about this cliche or stigma the other day. I think, for the record, I think, like I said yesterday, I think the tendency of what your European culture, when it comes about everyday life, to be honest, with whatever kind of incentive or kind of motivation they've been told, they really need to slow down their pace. They really need to have a session where, regardless of everything, mental health and your physical health is far way important rather than, and sometimes people might find it excuse or the reason why that, or you are not competent, or you are not up to par what they expected. Well, when it comes about something subjective like expectation and all, there will never ending measures. So they will definitely invisibly raise the bar at any given time without they realizing it. But I think that's why I said they need to have a break, or like somewhere in that whole month, that, okay, what kind of things that I could and should improve, whether this kind of things going to affect my mental health, whether this going to contribute to my growth, to my progress or whatsoever. And of course, I believe it's with whatever things that people want to be happy at the end of the days. But why can't you be in all of that the way in that journey? So I think the tendency, or the pattern that I would say, that's why by having that title in my profile gave me no pressure at all, because I want you guys to have a break. I want people to come here not to think about what kind of task that you need to do, what kind of thing. By having that night games or this kind of conversation, it's already, you know, I don't know if I told you this, guys, you guys before this, that by being able to be here physically, all of that requirement through that program is already done. The rest is whatever we can do, whether it's going to be, whether going to be on our side or not, that's beyond our control. But at least I need to be able to tell myself that as long that I had a productive days, my relationship with my children and my wife is good, with my people is okay. I'm already happy. I'm already consider that okay. Another day with some achievement that I'm able to do, because you know, we don't know, because I strongly believe that regardless whoever we are, we definitely going to fall into somewhat statistic that may exist for someone like our personality, our character, regardless that, you know, someone that probably get involved into something like, you know, we don't know what kind of lots of statistics out there. So we just need to know which category that we want ourselves to be regarded as, to be, you know, to be able to tell ourselves that okay, I want to be fell into this statistics that I want people to at least remember me by. You know, I'm okay if when people, like, when they return to their home country, when they happy that they forgot about me, I'm okay with that. But if they feel down, if they feel sad, and they think that there's no one cares, that going to make me feel sad, because you know, on the other side of the world, without they realizing it, there's someone who I might going to take my time to reply messages, but I will definitely reply. I made it as a promise to myself. I make a man that okay, regardless whatever time, maybe the time difference will be or he or she will be at night. I'm busy with something, but I will definitely going to respond to it. So I see. This one is C.
No, it's nice. It's kind of like, because I guess in the West we're definitely missing that community spirit, and it's nice to, I don't know, have someone that embodies it like overseas.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and it's definitely like a good observation, because I think that in the West it's all about like the pursuit of happiness and not happiness in the present moment. It's never about like, oh, your well-being here and now. It's always, if you do this, then you'll be happy. Yeah.
It's always been wrapped up as something that if you do this, you do that, you'll be happy. Why not? While I'm doing this, I want to be happy. While I'm doing that, I want to be happy. So that's the. But this is why I am able to, you know, traject sometimes, that I will not judge them, because that's how they've been brought up. That's how their environment shaped them. That's how. But if there's any that I would be able to remind them about, is that at the end of the day, when you're alone, regardless whether you are with partner or not, or whether you have family or not, when you're alone, you need to have that me time, that you know, okay, whether I'm going to feed my anger, whether I'm going to feed my curiosity, whether I'm going to feed my thankfulness, whether I'm going to feed, it's all within you. It's all with whatever things that you know, okay, at least I'm still breathing. The room to fight for something is always there. To be happy. You know, people cannot make you happy. There's no such thing as, oh, she makes me happy. No, it's not. Or he makes me happy. No, it's not. You find something, the value in them, that makes you see the bright side of things in life. So it can be anything. It can be. So mental health and physical health is crucial for me. There's no compromise when it comes about you need a break, you burn out, you need a break. take your time. Like me and my wife, whenever I told her, or I told myself as well, whenever I feel like, okay, I need my time, I'll just grab sunflower seed and I go to the farm. I'll eat that and I come back because I don't smoke. So
Yeah.
and I told her, look, if you want to feed your feminine side of anger, curiosity, or whatever, feel free to enjoy. You know, to have that time. Take your time. I'll take care of the kid, but whenever you're ready, just come back and join us. You know, like, and we're going to pick out whichever page that we left earlier, rather than to keep bringing up the things that you don't want to slip your tongue with whatever cost that happened before something happened. You know, you don't want to. Because for me, I'm tired, because at this kind of age, I don't want to think about something that will drain my energy and take away my smile. That I think that's something that some people really need to master, because this is the very first thing that, regardless money, regardless time, regardless energy, to be able to crack a smile is something that people nowadays not have that skills. Because they I think could not find the reason why to find comic in serious. I'm fail. I always look at something serious like the other way around, because if it's regarding my control, if it's regarding still since that we submit to the Almighty's. So with whatever been destined for me, I will embrace it with open arms, because this is everybody's journey, not just arrogantly I'm going to say that, oh, why is this happening to me? Well, when we lost our son, he was born premature. We had conversation, and I wrote a blog actually. It's in Bahasa, quite a novel, of course, and it has been featured in one of the popular magazine here in this country. Yeah, because the terms wordsmith, I guess, sometimes apply when it comes about you want to express something, that accordingly to your perspective, your perceptions, and some people are able to tolerate that journey. So it's not as if something that bad or something negative happen, it's not because you are terrible or because of you. It's happened. It's meant to be. So it's part of the journey that shape you, that grind you, and that what makes you who you are today. I'm here. So I told my people when they asked me, oh, you had a kind of, well, it depends on how you look at it. If having a terrible life is somewhat like when you've been knocked down on, like, in the mud, I think the only things that not like being like totally is that my mustache is still like one of them is not being smeared or not being dirtied by the rest is like being butchered here, being demand here, being yes, I think.
Did your your belief system help you come to the realization?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Because for me, regardless with whatever standard with nowadays people trying to use that as their benchmark, it's still worldly. It's still something that basic, that even it's a basic stuff that some people still have no idea what kind of things that they need to filter, and which basic stuff that they need to comprehend, so that whatever things later in life happens, they will be assessing it with open minds and open heart, that they know there's always something bigger than life. There's always something bigger than what we thought that, because in our system of belief, it's stated that sometimes we hold on to something that we thought it's big enough, it's it's huge enough, it's comfortable enough that that's the, while at the same time maybe what they're trying to teach you is about the other way around. It's about the losing, it's about the thing, and how you would be able to learn the lesson. I think one of the Limp Bizkit lyric is that because life is a lesson, you learn it when you're through.
Yeah.
You know, once you pass that stage, you will turn your head back, and you will definitely either smile or laughing at why I'm so stupid back then. But you don't, you know, for me, that's the stage in life where when the hoods kicks in, when the uh, when the teenage years, when the bachelorhood, is that something? When the parenthood kicks in, when all of this stage, but not everybody able or going to have that journey in their life to be complete. You know, some of them was meant only this kind of milestone. That, but like I said, I definitely believe that I'm going to fall into somewhat statistic, but until my last breath, I think my life is propaganda. You know, it might lead me to the left, it might lead to the right, but until my books of deeds will be closed with my last breath, then I will know what kind of life that I had. Whether I feel I'm happy that I've maybe touched or inspired or, you know, help people grow in somewhat way. At least there I'm able to. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess like not to lament while you're living it, just be in the present and
Yes,
see what
yes.
you can change as
Yeah.
you're going through
Yes.
it.
Yes.
How has your like relationship with religion changed throughout your life? I'm just gonna check whether it's still recording before you
Oh,
answer.
yes. Also, yes. Better. How? What was the question again? How
How has your
religion?
relationship with religion changed over time, or if it has?
Okay. In our system of belief, they have layer of sense of understanding and belief and faith. I would say to a degree where uh, when you know something, when you know that you should use this as guidance, you still, there's no guarantee that you will understand how it works. That you, because you only know. When you're able to comprehend, is that in whatever angle that later, and normally it's so-called test or turbulence in life, people will go to this kind of whether faith or whether your belief going to be the stronghold that facilitate whether you're going to be emotional or be rational to look at the lesson, how you going to learn from it. I think faith, if you believe, if you're going to trust or believe it blindly, it's not like it's not faith. Actually, it's just something that you think it's there for you. Faith is something that, you know, with whatever you're going to do, even to make this move, that move, you're not alone. Actually, there's always someone that look for you, that you know, that will observe you, whether you're going to sleep, or whether you're going to do or not portray, whether you're going to project what you believe in your heart, in a sense where it's going to project what's in you. Okay, let me rephrase my words. I think the difference between belief and to have faith, belief is something that sometimes you just know it's there. But faith is something that regardless what kind of reward that I will receive, whether it's sin or the good deeds, that it doesn't matter, because I'm not trying to impress the worldly standard based on human achievement, based on human relationship, based on human, but I want to take care of the relationship between me and my creator, because so that one day whenever I will be called upon, whenever I get done with this journey in life, at least I know that I've done, because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. That's what they said. But for me, when I have this kind of faith, I know that, okay, maybe I'm not that religious that I've prayed 5 times a day, but I do believe also that instead of doing all of the things that he requires me to do, at least there's somewhat credit as well, that the things that he forbid, that I'm not doing it. At least from there I'm able to tell myself that, okay, I want to navigate this life with the notions, or with the belief, with the faith that I have, regardless what kind of trials and tribulation that I'm going to be exposed to endure. I still have my Almighty. I still have my Creator that going to be pleased with my efforts. Will be pleased with my refrain of things that I think based on the brains and the heart that he like blessed me with. There's always things that I felt like, oh, I can just do this with my brain, but let me please my God rather than to feed my lust or do this with the things that I think, oh, you will be regarded as clever, smart, or everything, but that is worldly standards. I know I'm smart. Well, so so this one is A.
Did you, because you say like you went in a few different directions, you kind of diverged from like what everyone else was doing. Did you ever did that ever happen with your religion and stuff? Did you ever, like, because everyone else is there, did you ever find yourself going in a different direction, or was it always kind of been there for you?
Here's the thing. I think as long that I'm anchored, as long that I have my guide regarding what is the thing that I'm allowed and I'm forbid, I think that's the very basic stuff that I think I'm able to tell myself, okay, I've done accordingly with all of the religions allowed and forbid in this life. So I think so far, even though it might seem that I'm rebellious, but we also have this in a verse in the Holy Book that says, when it comes about religion, even if we are Muslim, still your deeds or your effort is whatever you can do, and my effort is whatever can. So everybody going to be judged individually, not based on, because the same book, other people can have different interpretations. Like I think in my perspective, when it comes about why I a bit not rebellious actually, because it's like when we found the simplest way to understand how, okay, maybe to say to understand is a bit arrogant, yeah, but you want to build a relationship with your creator, for example, so you need to find the simplest way not to okay, the word in bahasa is sekutu, to be shirk, to be to find similarity in other being as what we can call God. So that is, I buried that kind of minded far, because for me, most definitely, there's no God other than my God. So when they come up with, because I'm into comparative religion, so when it comes about their concept of gods, the way of finding stuff, that what's in it to be regarded as God. So that's why in our system of belief, in our faith, our religion, whatever things you can think of as worldly standard, it's not the quality of God. It's not the divine things that you could put a similarity to God. So by able to understand what the attributes are, so it's like whenever certain things occurs, when I already had done that process, I don't have to think, so okay, this is not. So it's like you able to say, okay, there's no compromise regarding this. There's no, even though when people try to provoke, or when people try to attack, maybe I would say no. It's not that I have blind faith, or I have my own. And I'm talking about, this is whether this kind of concern or questions come from my brothers, Muslim brothers, because like I said, even with the same religion, sometimes they have some different perspectives. Sometimes they get too hard on something. Sometimes they get too loose on something. But for me, since I learned more about my religion through English, through debate, so I'm able to differentiate whether this kind of question already settled like 1400 years ago, actually. When people trying to bring that up in order to, I guess the hood is not there yet for them to understand the transition between childhood to adulthood is one thing, and from adulthood to parenthood when they able to get married. So I hope I'm still in line with the question, that whether my faith leads me. I said I always anchored. When I said anchored, I need to challenge. I need to debate all of the things that before that question posed onto me. So that's why I need to be ready with the set of things that I know. Well, this is still based on my one cent, my perspective, and maybe that conversation is not being thoroughly comprehended yet now, but in the future, I would tell my people that whether they are Christians, whether they are have some feminine side that they fight on, or like the other day, I met this girl Manu cried because I asked her whether because she loves Sophia, so I asked her whether one day she's going to have her own children. She got triggered, like, why do I want to have my own children? Why do I want to abuse my body while I can just adopt one? I think my question is a really innocent one, like really in line. Yeah. Like, but some people, when they're not there, but I would say, in this life, before the brains connect, the the remotest area of thoughts in life, that it's always about daily things that it will never happen yet. But for some people, it took them 60 years to click. Some people, it's the problem with nowadays situation is that when they try to standardize everything through group ages, that is so wrong, actually. But it is what it is. We adopt that style or that system. But what we can sort of like take a glimpse out from that blinkers is that, okay, maybe your life worth 60 bucket, maybe your life worth 100 bucket, maybe my life worth 30 buckets, but your 100% of bucket is that worth. Your 100% is that, my 100% is that 30 buckets that I was born with. is that makes me, because of the potential, because of the things that been laid with, destined with you, going to make you feel arrogant. No, it's not, because your purpose, your journey, your task in life going to be different from what I had and or what you had before you guys met. So I think
Yeah, so would you say that your faith has kind of made you more tolerant of other people's perspectives, cultures,
Yes.
like ways of being?
Yes, indeed. Because here's the thing. To somewhat degree that I almost married a Chinese girl actually before. She was my first girlfriend. The level of tolerance, I think it can be evolved and can be better over the time, because once you've been there, done that, you've learned how they think, but there's always certain benchmarks, certain angle that I would say that you cannot change. That's why nowadays when people embrace Islam from previous things that they don't, some of them atheists without any religion, because they, I guess, in this life, when people think that, oh, it's my life, I decide whatever, that's when the problem occurs. Because if you think that your life is your decisions and your free will got nothing to do with the things around you, I think that's when the entitlement start. Because if it's just there, you like, let's say if you think people, regardless whether people are going to agree or not agree, you going to just adopt certain kind of mentality, and it's me the one going to lead this life. Yeah, but again, but we have this saying in our book, even if a Muslim brothers or sister lead a not so Islamic way of life, they say, oh, it's my life, isn't it? Okay, yeah, but at the end of the day, let's say if you pass away, who's going to bury you? So we have two perspectives of life, whether one's you with your individual things behind the door or behind or inside your room, but the others is your face in front of society or community. So if people going to say that, oh, it's my life and I'm going to you only live once, that kind of mentality, feel free to enjoy, have that, but until your last breath, the room for repent is always there, open. So that's why whenever I feel like, okay, maybe I'm a bit astray, I need to come back to the right path that I think that offer my peace of mind, without me needing to point fingers to anyone, without me needing, and that's a thing where, so that's why in our Muslim world, if that person is anchored with the very basic stuff as a guide to navigate them in life, there's no such thing as depression actually. There's no such, because it's all the mental block, it's all in the brain that like I said, because of the environment that they've been exposed to, they brought up. Like the other day, we had Rafa from Mexico, and you've met Mad. Mad is 23, Rafa is 19. That night when the realization hits Mad, he was a bit emotional. He was surprised that Rafa is just 19, but he's mature, his way of thinking, that because they play this game called Coop, that you need to manipulate other people, and Rafa was like quite good at it. Yeah. So he was like, look, his journey is not like your journey. He need to be mature way ahead of age, because I don't believe that age able to determine maturity, because some people even at 30 they're still not mature actually. And for me, the word mature goes to a certain direction, not just by age, not just by the way you think, not just whenever you feel like whenever you feel like your action and reaction going to affect people around you, that when you can consider yourself mature, rather than just to think about it's always about me, rather than the reaction that you will project, the consequences that will come back boomerang to you, whether it's going to be okay. If my answer is not according to what your expectation, maybe I'm a bit sleepy.
No,
But
it's cool. We like to like
yeah.
digress. Yeah.
Like I said, my style of answering people, if people are listening to this, if they are not able to connecting the dot by, they're not smart enough. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not kidding, because I know it's not fair also to use that, but there's no such thing as storytelling from A to Z without you able to grasp any kind of lesson that you think that you should compile it as equation that here I laid upon you with all of the probably the stories and possibilities, but you decide later with whatever I don't have leads that I should tell people about this. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's, I guess, like the thing that we've observed is like recognizing what's in and outside of your control, and also just like upholding your like moral framework in that as well, like
moral compass.
And just, I don't know, just making sure that you what's the word, that you're like loyal to that you know what your morals
I think
are,
yes. Here's the thing. I will come back to the stage where about the religion, about the races and everything, that I almost married this Chinese girl. So based on the differences, I would say, where something that you need to tolerate, something that I told her that, look, whatever you see in me, regardless maybe I'm a bit handsome back then, bit like cute or whatever, because I had long hair, kind of buff, and I was like quite back then. I told her that, look, whatever you see, whatever you like me based on my mentality, it's all within that teachings that I am not just project, that I'm express it, or that I'm like, what is the term that you display, or that I'm portray of what's there, that I need to mind about the words that I'm saying. If you notice that for the past days that you hear, we don't, almost not, only when we make jokes or whatever, the wording, because if it's in your everyday stuff, that word is slips, right? That word is always like, in order to express your feeling, and like, what the F, what the shit or whatsoever. But if it's in you, you always mind about what's going to come up from your mouth. That what the simplest form of jihad. That's the simplest thing that that, okay, regardless how many wordings that I've come out today, 0.0001% of that word is fell into category where it can be interpreted as a curse, as a bad mouthing, or things that. So I'm trying to minimize that color of that's why every now and then, like normally at the end of the years, I will have like a post on my status. I would say, last year, like for example, in one of my posts, last year I've used 54 million, just random number that I will of mix of English, Bahasa, and some pinch of Japanese and Cantonese, so that. And then someone asked me, what kind of apps you use in order to calculate. I'm like, it's just figuratively speaking, you know, based on that wording that I've used that whole years. At least I know, okay, my choice of word that I'm using is still accordingly to what I'm able to please my God, my Almighty. So that's why. So because of that teaching, because of that things been instilled in me, that's why if we have also this saying, whatever the good deeds that you guys see, you guys heard, it's all from Him. Whatever the bad ones, it's all from me, because I'm the one who's just a human here. So that's how I would.
Oh, okay. So like the moral framework is set out by the Almighty rather than by
Yes,
human.
yes.
Yeah.
Because worldly standard is the worldly standard is never ending kind of expectation, and you will be burnt out, you will be tired, because regardless what kind of efforts that you will never be able to please people.
Yeah, and I guess for me, something that I need to remind myself of a lot is how to uphold those standards despite your emotions, because I think that sometimes your emotions can like steer the ship without you even realizing, and you're like, oh, I'm not reacting in a very good way to this situation because I'm like tired or hungry or whatever it might be.
That's the thing. Why? That's when I'm going to use this gender bender stuff. Be, we've been told how female, or how a woman, a girl would act and react. We have a chapter in the Holy Book. It's called the An-Nisa, the woman. So everything regarding whatever they, you know, sometimes it's to be able to validate, to be able to verify, to be able to admit, to be able to adhere, to be able to embrace that this is sometimes that you cannot control, or you cannot comprehend. Again, when it comes about for us, please don't get me wrong when I say this. For us, when it comes about our other part, not other part, other person, in this case, female, they have, even their brain have their own heart. This is the thing, because sometimes when they lots of elements going to contribute to this kind of things, lots of things going to make them feel whatever and that's the journey until he or she, because man was made in certain way, female or a woman was made in a certain way, that what makes them unique, what makes them special, what makes them as what they can feel, or can because they're what's make them like that. That's why for us as a male, you know, they always says that opposite attracts. If a relationship that would last maybe a bit longer, like long, is that the opposite always trying to fill the blanks, fill the urge, or fill the needs that one that don't have. You know, that's always, you know, being me, someone like talkative, maybe my wife is not, you know, they always either balance, either complement, either feel the what is the thing? Feel the unfortunate part that not exists in you or in me, for example, in a relationship. So it's a journey actually, until one day that I told my wife before we got married. I told her, look, if you still have something to look in a relationship, or in this life that maybe you look for someone richer, for someone better, someone that's most likely not me, because I am someone who only this I can offer. Unless if you agree that out of all of those relationship that we had, that people still, you know, am I going to be, what is the right word in English? Am I going to be like throwing the towel and consider, oh, I don't want to have a relationship with a girl anymore, I'm going to be a gay. Like, for example, it's like, why are you shifting just because one or two or three or 21 in my case girls that are, whether there's no at all that really going to have like the opposite attracts, or the opposite that able to offer